Okay, so I'm sure all of you guys have been following this UK podcast beef going on between Justo, RTM, Pinky, who's now says he left RTM. There's a whole bunch of school kid stuff going on, to put it simply, because looking from the outside in, it just looks like schoolboy stuff. It looks like stuff that would be going on in a school playground, bro. Honestly, you've got bro, let me just show you guys this. Like, we'll just look up a few things just to show you guys, all right? So a month ago, Justo, you guys know Justo, Mr. Pain. Look at the watch on my wrist, pain. Look at the gun on my like. Listen, Justo from that song, innit? Them lot got on TikTok Live, and Bouncer's been covering this situation very well. I've been tapped in watching because Bouncer just makes it entertaining. Because otherwise, I don't really care about this stuff. But they were on TikTok Live. Bouncer says this all started from TikTok Live. And, Justo violates Pinky, Young Spray, and Chronic. And it's these channels, UK Brazy, like, these lot are just the ones posting all of these clips, benefiting from this stuff, man. Like, all this beef, this back and forth stuff, bro, I don't think it's made anyone involved's pockets that much fatter. If it's even added any money to their pockets, you know what I mean? But hey, let's see this.
No matter what I say, man are gonna tag team on me and chat shit. If I say, man are gonna try and make it out like man are gonna try and make it out like Abbas Blanks. If I say, bro, I've had bare bullshits. Oh, you're chatting shit. Your girl was cheating. She lied on you. If I say,
you've got kids. Like, what the hell?
Even if I say I might have you, you don't know. Like, you heard something the other day, Mac. Man, I'm still gonna say I'm chatting shit. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So, and when it's 2-on-1, you ain't gonna win. Do you get what I'm saying? So you see, when it's conversations I don't care about having, I'll just go outside and bun my zeggy. Like, yeah. I came back up on like 3 zeggies. I came back.
I heard they gang up on you all the time, bro. That's mad.
It happens. But anyway, I've come in.
I said to Pinky, that's not going to happen again.
And Justo's, he said he knows what Justo's doing, like Justo is trying to, create a rift in between them. And it kind of worked. We don't know if this was the only reason that Pinky's not on RTM anymore. But this is what it looks like right now. And I've met Pinky, I've met Pinky in person. I've met all of these men in person, except Justo, but I've met everyone in person, yeah? And also Young Spray even makes a response to the allegations people are making, saying he doesn't pay his co-host, which didn't make sense. I wanted to wait until this situation kind of unfolded more to make a video about it and just, give my opinion on it. So yeah, I've met Pinky in person, bro. And Pinky, like, you're not a joke, man, bro. You know what I mean? And it's just the internet right now running wild with it, and because you're fueling it more, you're fueling that narrative more, you're giving it more fuel, it's gonna keep on going. The fire's gonna keep on burning once you keep on fueling it, Pinky. Yeah, you just can't let it get to you, bro. Like, you need to remember who you are. And Pinky did go on Sinners podcast as well, and shout out to Sinners, them man, it looks like the algorithm's gonna start picking them up now. You're gonna start seeing a lot more of the Sinners podcast. I went on the Sinners podcast a few months ago. It wasn't, there was a little argument. It wasn't an argument, but there was a little heated moment over there, innit? There was a little heated moment that happened over there. But I went on Sinners, and them lot are all real guys. Shout out to Lil J, here in the thumbnails, you guys can see. Shout out to Lil J. Shout out to everyone on the Sinners podcast, man. Honestly, rate them in it. But it looks like Pinky's going on a bunch of other podcasts right now. He did a podcast with Bobby Kasanga. I'm going to do a podcast with Bobby soon, actually, because Bobby's someone I actually rate very highly. I rate anyone who's managed to change their lives and come off the roads. You know what I mean? You're acting out of emotion right now, Pinky, because I see similarities. There's some similarities with our situation, innit? The internet's basically saying, you got badded up, you get badded up this, you're a push, like, you know what I mean? That's the narrative that's going around. And it pisses me off, because it makes you think, well, it used to piss me off, because it makes you think like, oh, what the hell? Man's not a dickhead, this, that. And especially with Pinky, because of the walk of life he comes from and the way, he's a bad man, he's like, nah, I'm a bad man, innit? That's how Pinky is. It's going to get to him way more, it's going to be more jarring, something you can't let go, because it's going to be, I am not a idiot, but Pinky says he wants to start his own podcast. He says he wants to start his own podcast. Starting your own podcast is obviously not easy, and I wish him the best with it. There's a lot that gets into it. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that need running that Spray takes care of. That once you go and start your own podcast, you're going to see how it's not easy, because even with Cream, even Cream started her own podcast, and people were talking about how she's like not being consistent anymore. Her podcast is dead. Cream came out and said, yo, she's doing some things behind the scenes. Why not even subscribed? But Cream said she's doing some things behind the scenes, and that's why she wasn't really consistent with the podcast. But it's not easy, because you need to look at it like this: like, you're renting the studio. Most people in the podcast space can't edit. Most content creators can't edit. Like, they actually don't know how to edit. You know what I mean? They don't know how to edit. So she's probably paying someone to edit, or maybe she knows how to edit. I don't even know. But with numbers like this, like, you're going to take some L's, but this is also a part of the building process. When you're building your podcast, you're building your brand. Consistency is obviously important. Constantly leveling up is also important. And investment, you know, it's not really a loss. You have to look at it as investment, but, you know, it's not easy. Maybe this is harder than Cream thought it would have been. You know, it's not easy to run a platform. But also, before I get into this as well, with Pinky, I urge Pinky, don't go on all these other podcasts, because it's not putting any bread in your pocket. You know what I mean? Me, I'll happily go on people's podcasts. I'll happily go on anyone's podcast, because I do this for the culture. I don't really care about the money. I'm good. You know, I'll go on anyone's platform if it will boost them up and get them in the algorithm and get them going, and maybe give them a chance to start their own business, maybe change their own life. You know, that's why I'm in this game. That's what I'm on, innit? But where it gets hella childish, okay? And look, even here, I'm seeing on the side here, it's on Winner Talking podcast, it says Pinky reached out, want to be on my podcast. And I think maybe Pinky's reaching out to them lot, saying, yo, I'm not watching the video, but maybe he reached out to them because Pinky's starting his own thing, saying, yo, do you guys want to come on my podcast? All this stuff like that. Pinky, don't get dog on your podcast, innit? But don't, you know what I mean? It's not worth it. Like, that, him and Spray, they just don't like each other, innit? And that's, you know what I mean? You don't want to be used as a pawn, innit? But this is where it goes a bit too far. And in this, you know, Justo obviously spoke about a while ago, which went viral. He spoke about the situation he went through in his home country and how he was forced to watch his family get, you know, by opposition forces. It was kind of messed up, bro. It was kind of messed up. And Justo is saying, like, he's talking about Chronic's mum first in this, but it's just schoolboy stuff, bro. You know, like, how could an argument even get to this point? That's how I view it, bro. Maybe when I'm younger, yeah, maybe it could get to this point, but, bro, as a grown-ass man, as guys who are maybe twice my age, like, come on. This is what I just don't understand. It's like, most arguments, they're just misunderstandings that we can just speak about. You can talk about it, and then you can just come to an agreement, you know? You don't have to like each other, but as long as you come to an understanding, it's cool. But these lot in here are talking about sending postcodes, doing X, Y, Z. It's just mad. It's like, what are you lot doing, bro? Like, what are you lot doing?
Else is empty pussy, yo. Send me your postcode, you know.
Come now.
Stop it. I'm gonna come there now. I'm gonna come there right now. Because you're acting. I don't know what you think. Giving out other
think this is a joke, you know?
postcodes. Giving out other people's postcodes. You shook one.
Yo, that's Northwest, bro. That's not in South Kilburn Estate.
You're shook. I'm coming there, but you're
That's
shook.
where my mum lives, bro. I just gave you where my mum lives, bro.
You're shook.
I just gave you where my mum lives, bro.
You're shook.
You're a pussy, man. That's Marvin Road. Hey, anybody
I see these arguments where it's going nowhere, where we're not getting anywhere with this conversation. Why? What is the point? What is the point? I would just, if I'm arguing with someone like this, or speaking to someone like this, because I don't really argue. If I'm speaking to someone who's responding to me like this, I just walk away from the conversation, because we're not having a conversation here. We're not getting anywhere. I don't need to waste my time on this. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
They'll say that.
No,
That's
yeah,
Marvin
too
Road.
much
I live on
talking,
Marvin Road.
All right, say less.
Marvin Road. On Blake. Marvin Road. Come now.
Stop cosplaying Badman as well. You work in Sainsbury's, you pussy.
And here, this is key. This is key, because Chronic gets onto Justo saying, oh, don't stop cosplaying being a bad man. You work in Sainsbury's. So you can't be a bad man if you had a normal job. Chronic, have you ever had a job? Nothing against Chronic, but this supports the claims that Chronic, you know, might be on benefits. You're bringing up how somebody has a job and putting it in a negative way, saying like, oh, you had a job, allow it. Like, it's a bad thing. Like, having a normal job is a bad thing. Okay.
Mum's a pussy, yo.
Yeah, and you love Batsy, man.
Your mum's a pussy, yo.
Your mum's not even alive.
That's where you, like,
Your
can't
mum's
even
not even
talk
alive.
about your mum.
Your mum's not even alive.
Dirty mum.
Your mum-
Your that STD.
Bro, people in your family got in front of you, pussy, yo.
Yo, bro,
Are you
your whole
stupid?
family is
You can't go mum for mum with me.
Look at
Your
you,
mum
look
look
broke.
after you, you
You're
pussy.
broke.
You went home with bare scars in your head.
You're broke.
And it's just stupidness. Like, you're broke. Now you're broke. Bro, these are arguments I had when I was 17 with people. You know what I mean? It's a bit embarrassing, you know? And obviously the main topic here, you know, is that, Young Spray has decided to finally respond because everybody, a bunch of podcasts, even a bunch of podcasts who don't like Young Spray, because obviously after people saw what happened on the RTM podcast when I was there, a bunch of people who don't like Young Spray hit me up straight away. But a bunch of others hit me up and I just aired them. It's like, because you just want me to come on there and then you just want to try and make Spray look as bad as possible, bro. That's the only agenda you guys have. There's no togetherness. Like, I rate how Bouncer's like the head teacher of this thing, to be honest. I'm telling you, behind the scenes, bro, Bouncer, and he's been killing it on YouTube as well. But Bouncer is the one trying to maintain order. But Bouncer, I think it's a losing battle, bro. I don't think there's going to be any order here. Bouncer saying, oh, we can all work together and stuff, bro. Bouncer, me and you can work together. You know what I'm saying? Me, you, Traplaw Ross, other YouTubers, like, we can work together, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we've got, you know what I'm saying? Bouncer's obviously from the roads. Bouncer understands that mentality more, so we can be like, oh, obviously he's gonna react like this because of that. But at the same time, though, like, it's at the same time, bro, it's like, come on, man. You know, come on, like you've got to grow out of that mentality at one point. You know, at some point you've got to grow out of that mentality. But here's the clip of Spray responding to a lot of podcasts who have been saying, oh, you don't pay your co-hosts, and I think it's a good response, man. Brethren's calling me. 1 second, lads. And the internet is, you know, it's just about how it looks, because all these people watching this stuff, they're just judging off of what they're seeing online. They don't know you personally. And that's what I think Pinky needs to remember. Like, they don't know you. Like, you can't let the internet make you forget who you are, because these people don't freaking know you, bro. They don't. About a month ago, for like 2 weeks, I kind of was forgetting who I am. It's like I'm forgetting who I am, and my brethren, they got to remind me, like, bro, Tankz, bro, these like, you know, sometimes it's a lot. Sometimes it can get to you, bro. Like, the internet will get to anyone, bro, you know, but you just, as Bouncer said, bro, you just got to be numb about it. You have to just be numb about it. But when people call Spray dumb, I just be thinking, like, do you equate the amount of money you have to the amount of intelligence you have? Do you think there's a connection there? If somebody's got a lot of money, they're probably more intelligent. I don't know. I think there's definitely a connection there. I don't think that's just the only factor to determining intelligence. Absolutely not. Young Spray, and again, you know, we're not on the pocket watching thing. I've brushed over this in a live stream, but if Spray told me how much money he was making, or I wouldn't be saying this publicly. You know what I mean? But Spray is in the top 4% of people in the UK. Only 4% of people in the UK make six figures, which just shows how bad the country is right now, considering how expensive things are. But Spray is in the top 4%, just off looking at the numbers, just of putting, like, you know, making an educated guess. He's in the top 4% of earners. How can somebody in the top 4% of earners in this country that's come from nothing? Because it's different if you're born into wealth. If you're born into the wealth, of course, you can't say you're intelligent, you know, you can't. But when you've come from nothing, you know what I'm saying? You've come from the background he's come from, and you build it brick by brick, and you took a risk, and you did it when nobody else was doing it. Even when your brethren thought you were mad for doing it. How can you call a man like that dumb? That's it. That's all that needs to be said. But anyway.
A lot of people from this podcast, and I pay for things as well. Like, what do you lot do? Because we're on like our fourth well. What?
And as when he says pay for things, it's true, because he has to pay for the studio, you know? And this is public information, you know? I wouldn't say this if it wasn't out there, but because Spray puts like the studio that he uses on his thing, you know what I'm saying? But like, they rent the studio, innit? So every single episode, Spray has to pay rent to use that studio. And not every episode will do well. What's helping his channel is the fact that he's posted like thousands of videos. So every month he's guaranteed to get a certain amount because of the traction that he's built over multiple years of hard work. That's the fruits of his labor. But he might, you know, I'm not sure how much he's paying, but he's there for 4 hours. He might have an agreement with the studio, a good relationship with them. But there's going to be times where episodes probably make a net loss, you know? You never know. You know what I mean? You never know. You don't. So he's having to eat them L's. So I think that's what he means when he says, I'm paying for things.
What do you lot get paid? Let's start there. Does Punch get paid? Because you're not making no money. So certain people get paid.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't doing anything outside of R2, you don't get paid for anything. Why am I paying you?
Why would you pay them then?
Do you understand? You're here for yourself.
Yes,
To
yeah.
make some, like, to make yourself. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's benefiting
Like,
their
it's
team.
benefiting you. Let me give you an example. Yeah,
That's
sorry.
facts.
And it's true. Going on RTM, I mean, I've showed you guys what you can do, how viral you can go on that show, bro. I've shown you guys what you can do, and multiple other people have shown how viral you can go off that show. And if you do it right, you make the right steps, you make the right moves, you can build up a brand. There's value in that, 100%. He's not chatting shit.
Cream. Because I don't even want to talk about Cream. Every episode she gets paid. Yeah? Pearly Things, they contacted me.
And he's talking about Cream, and he says with Cream, every episode with Cream, he would pay Cream. And as well, remember, like, why is my phone going off, bruv? Remember with Cream as well, like, Cream was there from the start, you know? And now, obviously, she's going on other podcasts that, you know, are not too fond of Spray. That's going to be a little bit of a you know, it's mind games, head fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
Have cream on there. So I'm doing the negotiations. And I'm saying, all right, cool, but you're not gonna pay travel. At least they said, no, we don't pay nothing. You know what Cream said? No, it's cool, it's fine. Because it's cool, innit? Because it's a big platform. But I'm there in my thing thinking, right, I pay you every week.
and he's not wrong, bro. Just Pearly Things. If you take a look at her channel now, it's not looking the best. And that channel was carried by the guests. And even a lot of the guests on Just Pearly Things' channel have come out and said, yo, we're not getting paid. They're in some terrible contracts. Auntie Jenny, I believe it was Auntie Jenny. I liked Auntie Jenny. I remember her because she was like the key character on that Just Pearly Things show. But Auntie Jenny, I remember she came out and said, yo, I'm in some slave contract where it's like they're going to make her own channel. Like they're going to edit and stuff for her. But they're not really getting paid. It was just a slavery contract pretty much. And then that Just Pearly Things, she had some other controversy where she's like, oh, my Africans work for me, because she had a lot of black people working for her. But yeah, Just Pearly Things, our channel's not doing the best right now. But yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all.
But you're cool to go on somewhere else for free. Do you understand? Like, so let's everyone stop talking shit about, oh yeah, yeah, bro, stop watching my pockets and all that. Worry about people around you getting paid. Like, worry about people around you.
Yeah.
Are you getting paid on TikTok talking shit? Who's getting paid? Like, where's everyone's money? Like, who's getting paid? Like, everyone's doing all these podcasts.
Yeah,
Who's
no
getting
one,
paid?
they're
What
not.
what co-host? Who's getting paid?
And as well, when Spray, some people might disagree and say, oh, but come on, you got to pay people. I run a podcast, bro, and it's because it's my two peoples, Jace and Bads, yeah? Bads is off in the recent podcast. He's off camera, you know, but he's doing the live editing. He sits over there and does the live editing. Jace, my co-host, I pay them, man. Let me just stop. I was gonna say how much I pay them, guys. I had to stop myself. Yeah, I'm not gonna say how much I pay them, but I haven't recorded a podcast in a long time. And keep in mind, I got this space, and the plan was to record 2 podcasts a week, but I just don't want to do that. I haven't really wanted to do that. I thought, I don't really want to do that anymore. I still have to pay rent every month for this spot, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap. You know, all this equipment I bought by myself, all the equipment I use, I bought this stuff by myself. But my brethrens, even when we're not recording, there's still a standing order that goes out to them too every month that pays them. It's been like that. You know what I mean? You know, I've just been paying my peoples, bro, you know? And I do have cousins as well that are around Spray, you know, like Chronic, like these guys' age. Pretty much, like, bro, my cousin, older cousin, he could be on the RTM show. He could be a host on the RTM show, you know, like been in jail, has that mentality and stuff. The guy's very big on breaking bread. Like, the guy's got nerve. The guy's even seen me doing my thing, like, years ago. And he's like, oh, come on, we're cousins. You got to break bread, da-da-da. I had to kind of show him, cuz, listen, you're moving a bit mad, but it's okay coming from him because I understand the upbringing that he's had, you know? That's what was important. So to think that Chronic and Cream, who have played such a crucial role in building up Spray's thing and getting him to the position that he's in, to think that Spray's not going to break bread with them and pay them is absolutely mental.
Let me see.
they're
Punch,
getting
how much
dead
you making off the session, Punch?
Yeah.
Allow me, blood. You get what I'm saying? 'Cause I pay a lot of people from this podcast, and I pay for things as well. Like, what do you lot do? Because we're on like our 4th well. You just ain't even seen it yet, but you'll see. Everyone was someone before RTM, but guess what? After RTM, you're someone else. A lot more people know you. So no matter what you want to try and act, or it's like Cream done it. Like, oh, I was this before that. I was this. That's fine. But when I met you, you had 2,000 something followers, and when I left you, had 20 something thousand followers. So it's fine what anyone thinks they are before. Trina, big up Trina. I met Trina when I met Trina. She had 560 something followers. No one knew of her at all. She's got 4,000 something. So big up everyone. But I will let you know for free. Anyone that's been on this podcast, down to Pinky, down. Look, everyone go and look and see who was Black Kings posting Pinky's music before he sat on this couch. Was any of the blogs posting Pinky's music before he sat on his couch? Do you understand? Like, it's something, innit? Like, let's stop acting like it's not nothing to come and be on the RTM podcast. Let's not acting like, you understand? And, oh, yeah, is he paying anyone? Forget that. Stop watching man's pocket and just understand Chronic gets paid, though.
Okay, yeah, and he's confirmed Chronic gets paid. And I get where he's coming from, because it might look like, oh, he's trying to say he made everybody and that. No, he's like bigging up the fact that everybody's done their own thing. Everybody had their own bit of motion before coming on RTM, but RTM amplified that motion. And Spray is the one who's responsible for paying his editors, paying to get the studio every time they want to record something, you know, running the YouTube channel, making sure that the ads are all working, making sure the ads are all placed properly. There's work that goes into this stuff, bro. There's work that goes into this stuff, man. And as somebody who took the plunge and got a whole studio that was expecting to do a podcast and now has decided not to, I'm telling you, it loses money. Like, it loses me money every month, you know. But I don't really do this shit for the money anyway, bro. You know. And I think others, they view young Spray and they're envious of him. I think I'm not gonna say names who I think is envious of him, but it's quite obvious. They're envious of him because they can see that Spray is top dog in this podcast scene. And I think Spray needs to remember who he is. You know what I mean? Remember who you are, bro. Like, don't let these men trick you out of your position. Like, you are the top dog. If you think people are copying you, all this stuff like that, while it makes sense, at the same time, take it as a compliment. Someone's copying you, that means you're the one creating the formula. So how can they do it better than you? If they're copying you, how can they do it better than you, bro? You just got to move on to the next thing, or do, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just like, but it's just the school mentality, you know what I mean? But anyway, guys, let me know what you think of this whole situation in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching the video. Give it a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace and love to every single one of you watching. Mind games, different mind frames, Jedi mind tricks before man blow out your damn brains.